And we're live, finally. Sorry guys, a little bit of a technical difficulty was started here. Let me first get started and ask you guys a couple of questions before we do get started. I want to make sure that everybody can hear me loud and clear. I ended up switching out my mic, so let me know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, I might have to play with the mic a little bit more. Let me see here. See what people are saying. Let's see. Go to my video here. Okay, guys, can you hear me loud and clear? I need to know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. We are live now, officially. We're live. I want to get started. I'm excited, and I hope you're excited too. So I just need to know, guys, can you hear me loud and clear? If you can't hear me loud and clear, let me know. I will switch over to a different microphone. Let's see. I can switch over to this one. Can you hear me loud and clear now? Let me know, guys. Can you hear me loud and clear? Is that better? There might be a little bit of buzzing in the background too. Like you said earlier, it's my computer. I've got a good computer, but it does run hot. I've got every single thing literally plugged into it right now. So it just really depends. Depends. Hopefully we don't blow up our house or anything crazy like that. But I just want to make sure you guys can hear me loud and clear. So when people jump on right now, let me know. Hit me up on here, say you can hear me loud and clear, and I can get started, okay? So before I get started, need to hear from you guys. And also, too, share this. We're live. It's a little bit past 2 p.m. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to start on time, but it was because of technical difficulties. For whatever reason, I've got this thing called a black magic. It's connected to my camera, and it wasn't actually working correctly. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to actually show you guys. But I do want to get you guys started. And while we wait for a few people that get on live, just want to let you know that we are running a contest. Today is the first day of Shark Week. So Tuesday, July 5th is when we're starting it. And I'm planning on doing a lot more stuff like this. Like, I have the studio, it just sits here and collects dust at my house. And I definitely have a lot of knowledge. I've been training and learning internet marketing full time 4.5 years ago. It's been going on longer than 4.5 years ago, but I made a conscious decision to totally immerse myself into the industry 4.5 years ago after I met Russell Brunson one time, believe it or not. But I met him one time and I asked him this crazy question, and he was like, yeah, well, isn't that what you know? And I was like, yeah, that's what I know. And he's like, well, why don't you build something that's around that first, and then that'll give you the experience to know how to do it. So he actually inspired me to jump out of my comfort zone and try building something online based off what I already knew. So that's what I did. I went out and I built like this whole sales funnel, this whole training program, and I'm going to go into depth exactly how I did that. And it's going to be more of like in the intermediate stuff, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys know why and how I got into the industry while we're waiting for more people to jump on. So I see I've got a few people on here. If you guys don't mind, just tell me live right now. Say, yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Carl, and I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to have some mind changes, and I'm ready to crush it, okay? Because I'm all about crushing life. I'm all about crushing and winning, okay? So you got to have, like, in order to get the right results, you have to have the right actions. And so I'm really big about teaching RGAs, what I call revenue generating activities. So I'm really big about that, and I'm going to definitely dive deep into that. But I want to know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Cool. So listening, cool. So Michael, you can hear me loud and clear. That sounds great. So as I get started here, and we get a few more people to jump on, I definitely sent a message out, so we should start to see people lining up. Hopefully, I don't know what time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. For those of you that are online right now, at 4 p.m., is that a good time on the Pacific side? Is that a good time for you, or should I start a little bit earlier, or should I start a little bit later, like 5 p.m. or so my time? Because that'd be like 8 or 9 or something like that. On the East Coast, people are pretty much ready to dive in or home from work if you're working a full-time job, depending on what kind of work you do. But or should I start earlier? Should I start at 3 p.m. so people that just get home from work, or people that I just want to know what you guys think would be the best time to start live Facebook training. And I don't expect there to be a crazy amount of people today, but I do realize that everybody is traveling all over the place, and I've been setting this up, man. I've been sending out messages to my list, sending out messages through Facebook, and I really just want to have a good time here. I want you guys to learn. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So again, my name's Carl Schuckert, and they call me the Shark, Carl the Shark Schuckert. It's actually more of a branding play. I'll get into branding more too as well if you guys want to learn more about branding. But I started in the industry 4.5 years ago. I met with Russell Brunson 4.5 years ago. That one time I had literally had a mind shift and a decision to make a change paths in where I was currently. And so I was in the insurance industry for quite some time, actually. I still am in the insurance industry, and I was able to use that industry to fund myself starting into something else. I had to get myself into something else, but sometimes doing it part-time. I was doing it part-time, I was studying it part-time, and sometimes doing things part-time gets you part-time results. Unfortunately, they don't give you the type of results that you want. However, I understand, you have to put food on the table, you have to pay your bills, you have to take care of the kids, you have to take care of the spouse. All of that stuff is definitely encompassed, so it's very important that you don't just quit your job or anything crazy like that. But I'm just telling you my story because this is how it worked for me. I was able to position myself to where I could actually step up. So you really, in life and in upgrading, like in a level of a game or in life, like an upgrade in your life, you have to stack things on top of each other in order for you to go from A to Z, 1 to 10. Okay, you have to do 1 or 0. You start there. You have to do something that's at a 1 level. Once you get that down, then you got to do something at a 2 level, and you stack all of these things together until you can get to 10s. Then when you can get to 10s, you can get to 20s, and when you get to 20s, you can get to 40s, and then things will start snowballing as you learn them. But you have to start somewhere, and so I'm just trying to inspire you that. Now, before I get started, I'll probably kind of bounce around too sometimes. You'll see me, I'll bounce around over here, over there. But before I get started, I do want to have a disclaimer for you guys. I absolutely need to have a disclaimer. In fact, I was watching some old Frank Kern stuff, and a big fan, and basically saw that he was sued or something like that by the FTC when he first got started. So I definitely want to make sure I have my disclaimers out there before we do jump into things. So one disclaimer is that results are not typical. My results are my results. You're going to get different results. You could have greater results. You could have less results. One thing I have found, though, with results is it has to do with actions and implementation and speed of implementation. So how fastly you can download stuff, and then how fast can you take actions that'll actually start making you money. But my disclaimer is that I do not promise that. I do not sell anything that's on. In fact, all of these are going to be free. But I do not sell anything, or I'm not teaching get-rich-quick schemes. If anything, it would be get-rich-slow, because you have to kind of build things up in order for you to possibly get there. But I'm just telling you, these are my results, and your results, and my results are not necessarily typical, but they are achievable. It's just up to you. So I don't take any responsibility for whatever you do after you learn this stuff. I only take responsibility for myself. And so that's the one. The other thing is, if I give you any tax or legal advice, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a CPA, I have no credentials, nothing to back anything up. Again, these are things that if I do share some of them with you, these are things that I've found that have worked for me. That doesn't mean that they will work for you. And just remember this disclaimer when I do, so that way I've got my butt covered and you've got your butt covered, and then we can move forward. So let's see, we've got a few more people online. You guys excited? You guys ready to get started? I know I am. So we kind of went over a little bit about who I am. The next thing I want to kind of go over with you guys is mindset, okay? So this is why I want to start with this, because it's literally like mindset is literally the foundation of everything, okay? If you think of a house and you're building a house somewhere, you have to lay a foundation down to build a house, and that foundation has to be strong. It has to withstand winters and summers and seasons. It has to be able to withstand earthquakes sometimes. It has to be able to withstand weather, okay? Just different situations that we all have that time, right? It has to pass the test of time as well to 10, 15, hundreds of years even. We go, and I was just in Ireland recently, and there was a bunch of castles. Well, I'm sure that those castles were built on solid foundations. So getting your mind right is the foundation of everything, okay? Now, I've taught literally in the insurance industry, I've taught and hired and fired thousands of people, okay? This is a crazy number, but I literally used to go and I would pitch an idea to a group of people on a daily basis, between 25 and 30 people at a time. And out of those people, guess how many people would ever really actually make it through? I mean, literally would make it through. It was very I don't want to say the number, but the number was very small. Now, I'm not saying that it's against you, but really, if you think of it like everything's against me, everything is super competitive, how do I stick out? How do I do it? There is ways to do it, guys. There's ways to hack the systems, but you got to believe. You got to change your mind and change your life and make changes in order to make changes, right? Changes equal changes. So when you're around negativity, I would suggest, and what I do is I usually kind of go the other direction because I don't want to feed my subconscious mind negativity. In fact, it's whatever you plant seeds in your conscious mind grow. Just like you plant seeds in life, same with seeds in your mind. So when people give you negative seeds, they're planting seeds into your mind to grow into something later on. And then down the road, you end up like them, or you like you're around. You know, they say that your network is your net worth, but it's also the type of people you surround yourself around that also show who you are. So if you don't know who you are, look around. Who are you hanging around with? You know, we always talk about and we always hear about like people are underprivileged that live in the ghetto. We talk about people that live in third world countries and they never have a chance. But guess what? That's not true. The truth is that people that come from other countries, that are from here from third world countries, have seen such grave situations that they come here and they succeed because they got themselves out of that situation. You got to be able to do the same thing. I inspire and empower you to take action to whatever it is that you need to do to actually do that, okay? You can get yourself out of there, regardless of what it takes. Even if you have to go knock on doors and mow lawns and pick weeds and do laborious work, because we all have and we all will. But if you're too lazy to do it, then nothing's going to change. You're not going to have those impactful changes. You're not going to have those things. So I really want you to get your mind right? I want you to understand that everybody in this world has pretty much an equal chance. In fact, some of the people that come from money have a worse chance because they've had everything given to them. And here's the thing is, regardless of what situation you might be in, leverage it. You guys have the opportunity to take anything that you possibly could learn, know, like, and then teach. You got to be able to leverage that stuff, okay? So anything you learn, use it as leverage. I call it hacking, okay? And what hacking is like saying, okay, I want to have a mentor. I'm going to go learn from this guy. This guy over here, he's a millionaire. I've had the fortune enough to have multiple millionaire mentors, and I will refer to them all the time. But fortunately, because of them, they've made all the mistakes. They've lived and they've had the experiences of making tons and tons of mistakes, and because of that, they can compact them and know what to do, and know, more importantly, know not what to do, right? So not knowing exactly, or not knowing what to do because they've made the mistake. And that knowledge and that experience could be passed to you. And that's what I call hacking or leverage, okay? So you guys can use leverage to your advantage. The other thing that you can use as leverage that I look at is technology, okay? Right now we're on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live. You're seeing Carl the Shark Shicker. How did all this happen? How the heck did this happen? Guys, I'm sitting here in South Lake Tahoe. Use your mind here and explode it a little bit, because I'm sitting here in Lake Tahoe where internet 10, 15 years ago was never even here. Someone had the conscious idea, the thought, 15, 20, or probably, I don't know, probably longer. The internet was what, 1970s, but it was something that the government, the U.S. government used, and they didn't really come out until about 1996 or 7. I think we had like Juno, and we had the startup and all that stuff. You'd hear the like weird, right, the little thing you plug in the wall, the 56K. If any of you guys, I might be dating myself here, but the 56K that you guys would see, so that stuff would be plugged into the wall, and you guys would hear that coming through the wall, and that was internet, and it was super slow. In fact, I had a conversation with my friend Todd Spears. If you're on live, Todd, he was talking about, because he's like one of the early adapters to the technology, and that's exactly what I'm getting to, is becoming an early adapter to technology, and that you can use it as leverage. But going back to that, I was talking to Todd at an event. It was TNC, and he was telling me, and TNC is traffic and conversions, but he was telling me that when he started, he was waiting for like the hot girl to come off of his printer, but he said it would take like 30 minutes. That's literally the difference of how the technology has changed from like 1998 to 2006. But think about it, guys. The explosive part about this is that we're all interconnected. But now we're all interconnected physically. Okay, now we're all interconnected on a physical platform where we can reach out to thousands and millions of people from the studio of my own home here in Lake Tahoe. So that is leverage, and that is hacking technology and utilizing leverage. So those are some of the things that I will talk a lot about. The other thing is, you got to get out of this. Okay, what is this? What do you see right there? This is my hand, and this is myself. I have to get myself past that. I have to get myself out of my own way. How do I get myself out of my own way? Well, I talked about mentorship, I talked about hacking time, but I didn't talk about having personal motivation. What is it that gets you started? What is it that fires you up? What are the things that you want out of life? Do you have a big picture, or do you have a small picture? Do you want something for your family that's going to be amazing? Do you want something for yourself that's going to be amazing? Let's talk about legacy, okay? Do you guys understand what legacy is? Okay, think about your grandparents. Think about your great-grandparents if you remember them or if they're still alive. What have they passed down generation to generation? They passed down a legacy. The legacy is the memories, okay? Some of these legacies may not actually be what I would say is a true legacy, because they'd be more of a fallacy, because they didn't leave anything behind when they left. They didn't leave even knowledge behind when they left, which is the most important, most expensive, precious thing we could possibly have. It's knowledge. That's the things that we can give to our children, regardless of our financial situation. So that is a legacy. The other legacy is financially. Okay? How would you like to be in a position where you could hand things down to your grandkids, no questions asked? If your grandkids, and I'm not really big on college or anything like that, because student loans are expensive. There's like trillions of dollars in debt from student loans, and then kids that actually nothing against you if you went to college either, but most of the people that went to college, 98% of them never even used their what they went to school for in the first place, because they found out that they could make more money somewhere else doing something else. Maybe that, and even though it wasn't part of their passion or their idea or what they wanted when they were young, it doesn't really matter. It's those student loans that really hurt. The education is great, but the student loans is what's hurting everybody here in America. Those are another thing that could literally creep up on us. Luckily, we have government help, but those are things that could creep up on us. Remember, like the loans in 2008 when they crashed and they hurt the market? That's another issue. So having creating your own economy is the answer. It is the solution. And we are being replaced literally by machines. We're being replaced by technology. And in our life, we have to understand how to use resources in order for us to have a competitive advantage and us to actually stick out amongst the crowd. Because I can tell you, guaranteed, that my mentor Chris Record or Russell Brunson or any of these great internet marketers or people that you look up to, when they do something, they do it with a purpose. And when they do it with a purpose, and what I mean by that is that they don't just dilly-dally with something. If they see something they want to start using and they want to start bringing into their life and into their business, they're doing it to actually win. In fact, I would see that, when I used to hang out with Chris a lot, we would see a new piece of technology and he wouldn't necessarily jump on it really quick, even if everybody was talking about it. He would start thinking about, how can I use it for my benefit to grow my list and help more people and spread my message. So think about that, guys. If something comes out down the pipeline that looks great and grand, instead of just jumping on it right away, unless you think you can, think about how you can actually maximize your time with it and actually scale it out somehow down the road. So we were actually able to do it with Periscope when it came out. Chris got like almost 2 million hearts, which was unbelievable. I think I ended up at like 150 or 160,000 hearts, and I didn't do it as much, and I'm definitely not the most inspiring motivational speaker out there like he is. He's very good at it, but I definitely put a dent into it. So that's the thing, guys, is legacy. So I'm going to end you with that. Think about that. Think hard tonight after this video about legacy and about how you can leave a lasting legacy when you leave. Because one day when you die, and one day when I die, because we all will, we all have to admit it. This is something I used to talk about all the time when I used to sell life insurance. We're all going to die. It's just a matter of time. We either deal with it now or someone in our future has to deal with it for us. So that's what I'm asking you guys right now. You should be able to deal with it now and take care of it and be able to be in a position where you can pass a legacy onto your family. And so that's what I want to leave you with when it comes to mindset. And I know it's a lot to think about, especially if you start thinking about it now. Now the next thing I want to do is, like I said, these are going to be different part sections, okay? So the first part is going to be more basic training, okay? It's just like the nuts and bolts of marketing, okay? I'm probably going to go over, if we have time, depending on how much time I have, we're going to go over like acronyms, what they mean. You guys have probably heard them, like EPCs, CTR, CPC, PPC. You hear all these like acronyms and stuff like that in our industry, and you probably have a lot of people that are new are probably thinking, what are these? I have no idea what any of these mean. So I'm actually going to take some time and go over some of that stuff with you. But let's start extremely basic. So we've got a few people on. Hey guys, are you getting this too? Let me ask you guys, whoever's live right now, let me ask you, are you guys getting this? Are you excited? Do you guys want to learn? Are you guys excited for me to do this? Because I'm going to do this every single day until the 9th, and then the 9th we'll cut it off from there. And then from there, we're actually going to be taking it, live. Uh-oh, my computer might have shut down. Oh, we're back. Okay, so we're going to be taking it offline. We're going to put it at a place called schoolofshark.net. So schoolofshark.net, if you haven't signed up over there yet, make sure you go over there and you sign up, because once you do, you're going to be able to have access to all of these videos and trainings. And so as I continue to build this collection of trainings, you'll be able to have access to them completely free. Again, it's just me giving back to the world. The other thing I want to make sure you guys understand is we are running a contest. Our contest, we've got people in here. I can actually tell you. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But I can tell you guys online that we've got quite a few people that have connected. So let me go ahead and refresh. And so while it's refreshing, I will tell you guys as well, I will tell you the rules, okay? Rules are simple, very simple. Sign up, share, like, that's it. Share, like. You can actually, there's an option there to email it. So if you want to email stuff out, you can actually email them directly to friends. And the more people that go, so every time someone views your code, you actually get a point. And if anybody signs up under you, you get 10 points. And so it's a point system. So the more people that actually sign up, it's going to rotate and continue to grow. But the more people that sign up from either sharing or emailing them directly through with your link, the higher the probability is you're going to win. Now we're going to give away $400 in total cash value. We may even give more, just depends. If we can get this thing loaded up with a lot of people, we will definitely make sure to give you guys more cash. Now, where you go to get signed up is sharkschool.net. So all you have to do is go to I messed it up, Shark Contest, sharkcontest.com. So there's a .com there. The School of Shark is .net, and the Shark Contest is .com. So make sure you go there when you get a chance. Sign up. Like I said, it's free. Share it. I will share the knowledge with whoever you share it with, and also you'll have a better chance to win. Now let me see. So far, 31 people have signed up. So today, I'm actually not going to give away any money today. So boo. But you know what? Don't worry. It's because I want to give you guys a chance to earn. I want to give you guys a chance to make a few dollars. So in order for you to do it, just make sure you go sign up. Today is the opportunity. So today and tomorrow, until tomorrow at either 3 or 5, depending on what time you guys think I should start at. I'll probably start at the same time though, just to keep it congruent. But the more people we have in, and now I'm going to open up and just see the campaign itself. I will tell you, I'll even say some names here real quickly. Let's see, let's see, overview, and click on there. So I'll tell you exactly, we've had 138 visitors, so actually a bunch of points have been given so far. And then, let's see, we've got Chris Cellula? Oh, Chris Cellula, it looks like, is actually in first place right now. So Chris, good job. Looks like you have 32 points. Actually, you're tied. So Bob Hilton, what's up, Bob? How you doing, man? Good friend. Bob, you're tied up with Chris. You guys both have 32 points. Yvette is right behind you guys at 27 points. Lorna has got 25 points. Judy Hoffman has got 20. Madi has got 17. John Schoonover has got 15. So here's how we're going to do it. Every single day, not today, but this gives people more chances to win. Every single day, we're going to actually calculate these up before we get started. And so when we get started, I'm actually going to announce live who wins. And so we're going to break it up. There's going to be between 10 and 16 winners by the end. So the way that will work is if I did 16, that would be $25 PayPals immediately, like fast, right to your account, right after the show. I want to make sure to pay you your prize money immediately. But depending on viewership, so you have to be live in order to win. If you're not live when you win, then I'm going to pass you up to someone else, to whoever is live, because we want to make sure we have a good viewership on this information. I'm giving it to you guys live, right? And I'm hustling my butt. I want to make sure I give you guys tons of value, and I want you guys to be live when we do it. So make sure you are, or you're going to miss out on winning. The other thing is so it'll be $50 to $25 every single day till the last day. Now, if we get this thing crowded, if we get tons of people on these live, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put in more money. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to drop more money. And I understand this is the first day, so every day I would expect there to be a gradual increase of people that are joining us live. So that's how the contest works. All right? So you guys ready? I've got a few people here. Thanks, babe. My wife, Ikumi, that's her. You'll see that she put sharkcontest.com and she put schoolofshark.net live there, so you guys will be able to click on it if you need to. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get ourselves started here. So let's see, I got to pull up my screen so I know how far I can go. Looks like I can go to here. Okay, and so remember, if you've been around, you might have seen some of this stuff. If you haven't been around, then this is going to be very new to you. Maybe you've seen this somewhere else. I know I saw this before I got into the internet marketing world. I saw it as steps to success, is what we used to call it in the insurance industry. But really, it's the value ladder, okay? So let's go ahead and write that here. Okay, it's the value ladder. So you guys should be able to see that. There is a little bit of a space there, so let's see if I can take this off this placer up top. Cool. And I will move this over so you guys can see. Alright, so you guys should be able to see value ladder. And who here has heard of the value ladder? Put your hands up. Give me a little message on here that says, I've heard of the value ladder. Let's see if anybody's ever heard of the value ladder while we're on here live. Give it a second. There's actually a little bit of a delay. So kind of like a Facebook, what do you call it? Not Facebook, but Google Hangouts are a little bit delayed as well. So I'm finding that I'm learning new things as well as we do this. So it looks like no one said yes, so cool. So what I'm going to do is show you guys what the value ladder is and what it looks like specifically. So I should be able to go down to about here and go over to about here. Okay, this is what it looks like. So it looks like a graph, right? You usually see these little graphs. And then you're going to have money goes up this way. And then you're going to have time. So typically this is what we would say is a timeline. And so no matter what you're trying to sell online, there's a starting point, there's a finishing point. And a training I think I was on with Russell Brunson, keep giving him kudos, but a training that I was on with him, he said that amateurs start with the front end, but professionals start with the back end. So what does that mean? That's actually like reverse engineering things. That's what I like to think of it. When you see something, no matter where you're at, you got to think about how do I reverse engineer something. So sure, you can make money selling $7 items. You could make money selling $1 items. You could make money doing what's called a tripwire, which we'll get into that when we go into our funnel training, which we'll get into funnel training as well. But starting with a certain point of value ladder. So knowing what the beginning is the end, understanding what the end is going to be. See, in our industry, but the industry that I specifically am in is launching products, launching software, is that I see that a lot of people are really good at launching products, but they're not really good at this back end area. And that's okay, because they actually leave it for people that are really good at building like back-end offers. So they know that their ending is already built for them with sort of like a contract or a commitment or an agreement that they might have made with another marketer. And that's great, because compilation is awesome, because we all have like different strengths, right? And I want you to be able to capitalize on your strengths and then learn how to make some of your weaknesses your strengths as well. So just a quick little tip as I'm getting into it. In order to use your strengths, those are things you know, so your speed of implementation is going to be very fast onto cutting that stuff out when it comes to taking an action. But the things that you're weak on aren't going to be really easy to have a huge speed of implementation, because it's usually like, I don't know how. Usually it's nothing else like why or what or anything like that. It's I don't know how. So if I don't know how do you get the information so you can start stacking it? Well, you can either hire someone else. Let's say it's something you don't want to do. Okay, if it's something you don't want to do, hire someone else. We talked about that earlier. It's called leverage. You leverage someone else in the industry to actually, looks like I'm getting a couple messages, but you want to leverage someone else in the industry that's what they're good at. You know, there's some people in this industry that are really good at Facebook ads, and you're not that good. So maybe that's your weakness, and you're still learning, and you still want to become good at it. But until you're good at it, you're not going to make any money at it. I would almost say guaranteed, unless you had a fluke. So you would want to hire someone that's really good at it while you're learning, while you're figuring out how to make this weakness my strength. That way you can leverage your time better later on, okay? So let's go ahead and get back into this. So we're going to say this is what a value ladder looks like. So you have this, goes like that. And I think, like, I don't know, Mike Filsaime might have been one of the people that showed me this a long time ago in one of his trainings. One of those guys showed this. This was something I seen, though. Like I said, I saw this insurance days. Okay, insurance days, we used to have a thing called the Steps to Success. It's basically the same thing. I've seen people make ladders, like an actual ladder, explaining this. But I just really like this graph the most, because it really gives you like a good way to understand it. So most people are always starting with here, which is what we call like a front-end offer. And your front-end offer might be like a tripwire. So I know a lot of people in this industry, or a lot of people that follow me, I know, are in e-com. And so there's this word called tripwire. And I think like Ryan Dice or somebody, one of those guys actually coined it, the tripwire. I think I've even heard it like an invisible funnel, whatever. So what it is really is a front-end offer, like in this instance, would be like a $0 offer. Or if it was an e-com, it'd be like a 0 plus shipping and handling. So if it was 0 plus shipping and handling, this is where what they would call, you might have heard this before, called the free line. So they have this line right here, it's called the free line. Why is it important to have a free line? Well, free line is, the importance of a free line is because it's attractive. There's no, the commitment level is very low. The commitment level might be just sharing my email address. The commitment level might be just giving a like or a share or something like that. It's very low entry, okay? So the lower you bring the entry, the easier for people to get in. So if you're funneling people here from traffic or SEO tactics, paid traffic, free traffic, controlled traffic, whatever it might be, it doesn't really matter. So what it is how easy it is for them to get in. And that's why it's important with physical products, stuff like that, to build a brand, to build a name, build something, is to have some offers there that bring people into your funnel or bring people into your products, regardless if you sell digital products, online marketing, mentoring, coaching, whatever it might be, you have to have that first line in order for you to do it. And most of this stuff works offline too. In fact, this stuff was offline before it was online. It was just the conversions of things. Things changed, which we'll probably talk more about as well. So you have this, then let's say they get in at 0. Then you have an upsell. So we'll put upsell. Okay, you have an upsell right here. Let's say that's a $10 product. So it's a low-cost $10 product to get in. Now they've just increased. Now they've actually, so if you had paid traffic going in here, okay, once the traffic comes into this, basically kind of like a funnel, once they come in here, it's easy low entry point. The upsell is $10. Now, depending on how much money you stuck in here, you might be looking at a return of investment, so an ROI. So you might be looking at a return of investment. The return of investment might only be $1. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. These are matrix that you're going to be able to test and tweak and learn once you understand this stuff, once you grasp this stuff. But again, like I said to you guys, this is all basic training we're doing today. Just the simple basic stuff. Then you have another upsell, okay? The next upsell, let's say, is $50. And again, these numbers could be anything. It doesn't matter. It just depends on the value of the offer and the perceived value, okay? So if someone comes into something, their perception of it has to be great. There has to be simple things done there like social proof. There has to be, looks like a lot of people are going there. There has to be some scarcity. There has to be certain elements for that to actually start converting for you. But once it has converted for you, then you can start split testing it and testing it, which, again, those are more advanced. Again, I'm getting myself into the advanced section already because I'm excited about it. I want you guys to make money, and I want you guys to learn and earn. So then the next thing here is, let's say it's a, I don't know, $300 offer. So conversion rates are going to be probably a lot lower, but you've already got a return of investment right here. So it doesn't really matter. The only thing you need to do is start testing what's in between here. Then, let's say you have a $2,000 offer, and then there could actually even be a $10,000 to $50,000 offer. And I've seen them. Okay, I've seen those offers. A lot of these offers, though, I've seen too, I've seen a lot of them that are not successful. I've seen a lot of offers right here that are not successful as well. But I've seen a lot that are successful. And the reason why a lot of these guys that are successful is because they've really worked on these numbers here, so that way they could pull people and pull traffic in and get people to know, like, and trust them, because that's what it's about. People don't always necessarily buy your products unless you're selling like physical products online and there's not a person to meet. But when it comes to online marketing, people need to know, like, and trust you in order for them to make a decision if they want to purchase from you, and then you have to deliver. Okay, so once they know, they get to know you, they like you, they have you, you're giving them a sense of trust, then they get into the funnel, then you need to deliver. If you don't deliver, all of that stuff goes away. That know, like, and trust goes away, and if there was any negativity with some of those people, they might even bash you online somewhere. So it's just, you know, again, you got to be careful, very, very careful on how you use that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the whiteboard real quick. I hope you guys understood this part so far. Again, just basic stuff. Want to make sure you get it. While we're in an intermission, I'm going to play some music. I'm going to get a little backboard going, and then what will happen is I'll be right back as soon as I clean this up, and we'll get started on the next section.